Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures review of this 2021 Infiniti QX80. For some reason, this is one of my favorite vehicles. I love the QX80 and the Armada. It's got that 5.6 liter from Nissan, the VQ56 I believe is the code for it. Plenty of power, 400 horsepower, 413 torque, and overall it's just kind of a big beefy vehicle. It's mostly based on the Nissan Patrol, but it's watered down a little bit for the Americas, well, for the United States at least. And no rear locker, the front differential's not as strong, a few things like that, but overall it's pretty similar to the Nissan Patrol. And of course the QX80 is the luxury version. Really enjoyed driving it on the highway. It's nice and quiet, it's big, so you get to be able to see over most of traffic. And it's really pretty easy to drive. It's not difficult to park. It does have the surround view camera system, all of the Nissan Safety Sense stuff, so adaptive cruise control and the blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, the forward pedestrian stuff. It's got all the sensors, all the features on it for the safety stuff. Very nice. Let's take a look at the engine. All right, here is that 5.6 liter V8, and in the Infiniti, guys, it runs on premium fuel. They've updated the Nissan Armada and Titan to also run on premium fuel to get that extra 10 horsepower out of it, a little bit more torque. But ultimately it's the same engine between the two vehicles, or three vehicles, and this one in the Infiniti is paired to a 7-speed automatic. The Titan has moved up to a 9-speed. I expect Infiniti will make that change to the 9-speed before too long, but for now still has a 7-speed, and it's really not a bad transmission at all. I haven't found any issues with the 7-speed, and I really enjoyed the 9-speed, so either way, can't go wrong. Inside, of course, being an Infiniti, it's very nicely appointed. That doesn't feel like real wood, which I'm sure it's not, but all these surfaces are kind of soft, at least. Have a little extra padding. Of course, the leather, perforated, and it does have heated seats. This particular one doesn't have the ventilated seats and heated steering wheel. So over here on this side, let's go through the switches. Open and close the rear door, heated steering wheel. This is the warning system switch, and then the rear door alert. So you can turn that on or off to make it beep or not beep, I believe, on the rear door. There's the power, so you can turn the rear door power off. And this is the headlight adjust. I do like that Nissan and Infiniti do this, so you can change the angle of your headlights. So if the rear end's loaded, luckily this one has the auto level rear, so that's not as big of a factor, but you can still have your front point too high and have to adjust that if you're towing a trailer or something that lifts up the front. And then here on the steering wheel, there's one more, well, a couple more safety things, but this one is the dynamic driver assistance switch, so you can see everything on there changes, and this will do like the automatic steering correction. So if you're gonna run into someone in your blind spot, it'll keep you in your lane instead of merging into someone else. It keeps you in your lane. If you don't use your blinkers to turn out of it, it'll bring you back into the center of your lane if you cross over your lane markers. And then of course the adaptive cruise control is the other safety feature here. On this side, this one left and right controls that screen, left and right, and then up and down is your radio station, and you can hit OK and it will change your map, oddly enough. So and then your voice stuff there. It does have the camera for the rear view mirror, so of course you can do the mirror or the camera. A couple of USB charging ports here and a 12-volt outlet there. Right here is a control for the map, so you can zoom in, zoom out, whatever. It also has the camera button and then the back button there. So let's show you the surround view camera system, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty clear on this vehicle. Sometimes, like hooking up a trailer, for example, you need to have the zoomed in view, and you can do that there. And then of course, you saw the one where that's the front passenger tire. Gives you a good view of something that's kind of hard to see because it's such a big vehicle. You get used to the proportions of it. It's easy for me to see over this hood and know kind of where the edges of the vehicle are. But this camera view does help out with that. And I think you have to be going like 3 or 4 miles an hour or slower, because every time it seemed like I'd cross 5 miles an hour, it would turn off the camera automatically, except the one time the system glitched and I was able to turn it on the freeway. I'm not sure why it like crashed and restarted, but and then this lower screen is your audio and climate control. So yeah, you can control all that from there. Here in the center, you have 2 cup holders and a little cubby there in the front, and then the center armrest. This one is not equipped with the cooler feature, but you can hit that button on the ones that are. And it's also accessible from the back. If you're using the cool feature, backseat passengers can use that to store drinks and keep them cool as well. The 4-wheel drive system, we'll get into it more. You have basically a snow mode, and then your auto 4 high, push it down to turn it into 4 low. And then you have the tow mode and traction control off there. In other countries, you do get an additional rock mode, I believe, and a rear differential lock for these buttons around the outside. Wish they offered that in the US. For me, this vehicle, I love it so much. I love the potential it has. And so maybe I'm a little bit harder on it, because they really should bring over a lot of the stuff that they are already using in the Nissan Patrol. They should bring over the beefier front differential, the little bit higher and stiffer suspension, and they should bring the locking differential over and the rock mode. If not in the Infiniti, they should put all that stuff into the Armada and have it be comparable with the Ford Expedition, honestly. So the Expedition has a rear locker. You can push the button and lock it. Easy as that. The GM vehicles, I believe you can still get the G80 in the Tahoe, Yukon, and they do have an electronic limited slip as well. Up here we have a sunglass holder. It does fit my Tifosi Jets, and of course the controls for opening the sunroof, and then these are just the various lights, the reading lights, the whole car, that's to turn it off when you open the door, and then the SOS right there is to open the moonroof. Mirrors do have lights in them, and they'll slide out, so when you put it to the side, you can block out the whole side. It does have fog lights, but not really. They're an extra set of driving lights, so you can't have the fog lights on when your running lights are on. You can see that's just showing running lights. If I flip it to there, it shows the fog light switch comes on right there. So anyway, fog lights on this one are just an extra set of running lights. Let's take a look in the middle and back rows. All right, back here, you do get the speakers, both low and high in the doors. Map pockets, does have its own climate control, and power outlets here. This particular one doesn't have all the additional features, doesn't have the heated seats and the screens. Down below, there's a cutout. You probably can't see this. Let me get a light on there. There's a cutout for a 110 volt, but this doesn't have that, and then the regular 12 volt. Up in the center, you get 2 cup holders and a fairly deep pocket there. So, and on the front of this center armrest, there is another cubby. So, to access the third row, it's easy enough. The second row seats are comfortable. They recline and all that stuff, of course. They don't go all the way back, but they do recline a little bit. And they don't slide. So that's another gripe I have with this vehicle, is there's a ton of legroom for the second row seats, but they don't slide forward at all. They do tumble to get into the back, but as you can see, that's a fixed point there on the front for the hinge, and they should really include the slide feature and give the rear seats more space for when it's needed. Back here, they need to also include power ports. You can recline these seats a little bit as well, or bring them up, and the passenger can do that with that switch. Then of course you can fold it all the way flat, and you get from the door to the back of the armrest, so you can move that forward a bit, but to the back of there ends up about 7 feet, so you can't quite get a 4x8 sheet of plywood, even though this is 4 feet wide across. Also, great ventilation up top for the middle and back row passengers, and the middle passengers also get the feet. Here in the hatch, another gripe: every vehicle with a full hatch like this should have the glass open. On the Land Cruiser, you've got a hatch and a tailgate. That works out great. On the old Excursion, you had a hatch up high and doors. That works great as well. Here, you cannot open the glass and store items right here. And for me, it wastes some space. It makes it so you can't really fully utilize the space, because you can't really stack stuff up here and close the door without it falling out very easily. This one does include the cargo net that spans across here. There are these anchor points, and a bunch of them when the seats are folded. Underneath here, first aid kit, there's the license plate frame, and underneath this are your tools for changing your tire, and there's the plug to lower your tire, your spare tire down. So there we go, get that fixed. And then on the side, you have buttons to raise and lower the seats. It takes a little while to do. We're not going to do that whole thing. And one socket on this side. So again, a lot of other vehicles feature a 110-volt outlet somewhere in the rear. This one does not. That's an upgrade they should make. And it appears I lied. This is to lower the spare tire, not that other one. And here is your spare tire. It is a full-size spare, and it says temporary use only. So it is still a Bridgestone and a full size, but it is just a temporary tire. Speaking of the tires, Bridgestone Dueler HTs. These are 275/50 R22s. 22-inch rims, not my favorite thing. You get an okay amount of sidewall, but like a 20 was maybe the maximum I'd go. The saving factor on this is that these tires are 32.5 inches tall. It's just crazy to me how big the tires are on vehicles today, coming stock with 32.5s. And if you were to look at, maybe I'll put a picture up of an old truck, a 95 Dodge I've got, with 32.5-inch tires on it. Basically right here, the truck edge of the body is maybe up this high with that same size tire. So kind of an interesting thing. Like I said, the Nissan Patrol rides a little bit higher than this one. I think it's an inch or two higher, and overall they've watered it down in many ways for the US market, and I believe taken out a lot of critical features without adding anything else in that would make it more US friendly. So I think they have an excellent platform here. I love this platform. It's one of my favorites. I love the engine and transmission. It tows well, and we'll see in the next video it off-roads quite well. But Infiniti and Nissan should bring some of the features that are available in other markets to the US market. 0 to 60 flat foot, 3, 2, 1, go. $60. It's not extremely fast, of course. This thing's so massive, Engine sounds great. It's smooth. It goes really well. You can tow a trailer, big trailer with it, no problem. Overall, the power's on par with the other competitors in the class. It's not quite a Chevy 6.2, but it's better than the Chevy 5.3. Not, of course, the EcoBoost with 400 horsepower and 470 torque, but again, just a really good engine, very smooth, sounds great, transmission's great. I do wish I had the version with the HBMC, hydraulic body motion control, to see how much less body lean there is in the corners and how much more articulation there is when off-roading. Thanks for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2021 Infiniti QX80. Great driving on-road, pretty darn capable off-road, as I'll talk about in the next video. And overall, I just love the vehicle. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications of upcoming videos, and give me a thumbs up and comment down below. If you didn't like it and give me a thumbs down, be sure to comment down below and let me know why. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.